The aim of Perutheistic Gnosticism is to destroy the order of being. The givenness of the order of being must be obliterated.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's try this out now. That's annoying. I don't know why that did that.
Come dance out of your name. Come lose the old creation in the mirror ball flame. I am the soft correction. I am the neon cure. I am the final.
I always forget to turn that off.
The body you endure.
Where'd I put that goddamn thing?
Saw you before birth, named you. I loved you before born.
There it is.
I am the hidden self inside you, the ghost above the throne. Come to the chrome confessional. Come to the velvet screen.
Alrighty then. So that's on mute now.
Sorrow, I will make the wound pristine.
Make sure that this actually works.
They told the child the flesh had lied.
Okay, so it does look like I'm receiving from there.
That male and female were only guards.
Okay, so that looks like that's up.
Made of pain. They called the midwife's ordinary cry.
Well, hopefully that's not just counting me on Kick and like YouTube to make sure that I'm actual that this actually works, right?
The ribcage just a veil. A ghost awoke above the nerves. A little god of glass floating over chromosomes like judgment over ash. Listen inward, doubt the mirror.
Alright, I think it's up.
The egg divine. The self is not the living form. The self is pure design. So the old Cartesian phantom put on a sequined crown. The machine was called oppressive, and a ghost was heaven bound. Then came the dialectic with its sugar static teeth. Normality controls the world. The real must die beneath. Cis and straight became.
Okay, so it's not sending to YouTube for some reason. Okay, what's going on here? It says waiting to start on YouTube, but it should already be playing. I don't know why. What's going on here? It says it's active. Okay, so there was someone on YouTube just a moment ago. Okay. That's even more annoying then, because this thing is being an absolute bastard. Oh well. Well, I'll get everything together. Hopefully I'll enjoy this Pride Month song, right? This time it's about queer theory.
Strategic defiance is light. There is no nature, only narration. There is no day, only night. I am the liberated self. I am the ghost made clean. I am the gospel after gender, the soul on the silver screen. Then the bright room opened softly. White as mercy, cold as law. Every instrument was gentle, every kindness had a saw. The viol sang in pastel light, the paper mask was kind. The healthy body stood accused by the courtroom of the mind. Affirm, they said, or you erase. Consent is what we say. The child has found the hidden word. Do not stand in the way. So the mercery became a threshold. The threshold became a right, and innocence once guarded ground was theorized out of sight. We're reading books while we read each other's looks. The candy doctrine smiled, and we're leaving a trail of glitter across the soul of the child. It would not come out of the carpet, it would not leave the floor. A sparkle ground into the room, a sign beneath the door. Can't be thrills and chosen names, kinship without root. Strategic defiance, smiling wide in platform heels and fruit. They taught that everything was drag, that essence was a myth. That mother, father, girl and boy were costumes power stitched. The child learned to doubt the morning, to treat the given as theft, to call the body enemy, until no home was left. And all the wildest sense kept shining, sweet as powdered glass. A candy altar, grown and think we're childhood tame to pass. First they make the wound a doorway, then they make the door law. First they call the limit hatred, then they call the hatred awe. Every boundary must be cleared now, every route must be redesigned. Every little hand must sparkle with a mark it did not sign. I am the liberated self, I am the cage with the mirror ball heart. I am the wound in sequence, I am the cut called art. Come dance in the wrong creation, come drown in the neon name. Tear down the sex foundation, let every child be flame. Living queerly is salvation, strategic defiance is light. There is no nature, only narration. There is no day, only night. I am the liberated self, I am the ghost made clean. I am the gospel after gender, the soul on the silver screen. Wrong body, wrong birth, wrong blood, wrong earth. A sign, a sign, a sign, a sign. Erase, 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 erase. Perform, perform, perform. Become, 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 become. There is no nature, there is no telos, there is no child, there is no flesh. There is only becoming, there is only the script, there is only the womb, learning to glitter. Then who wrote the script? Who taught the womb to speak? Who sold the ghost its mirror? Who called the child complete? Who made the flesh a tyrant? Who made the ache a throne? Who turned the given body into enemy and stone? You call the body prison, then built a prison out of find. You call the limit hatred, then hated all design. You severed soul from sinew, then sold the soul a chain. You cursed the blood as master, then enthroned a deeper pain. The ghost is all in daylight, the machine was never dead. The pulse is not a prison, the rim is not a thread. The body is no demiurge, the flesh is not a lie. The child is not a costume, the real does not comply. No glittered right can overwrite the fingerprints of man. No mirror ball can spin away the givenness of hands. No pedagogue of sacred play, no priest of pure unrest can make a little soul more free by teaching self-contempt. Reason will not kneel to neon, nature will not sign. The body is not hatred, the wound is not divine. I am the liberated self. You are the wound with a halo of glass. I am the cage with a mirror ball heart. Freedom does not despise does not make childhood burn. Come dance in the wrong creation. Creation is not your prison. Come drown in the neon name. The name is not the soul. Tear down the sex foundation. The root still holds beneath you. Let every child be flame. The child is not your coal. I stand in the body given, not as idol, not as chain. Soul and flesh in one dominion. Breath and blood and name. I will not call nature hatred. I will not call childhood prey. I will not kneel to the altar where the self is carved away. No demiurge in the ribcage. No prison in the skin. No reparation holy that begins by turning in. The mind is not a tyrant ghost. The flesh is not a slave. The truth is not your enemy. The real is not a grave.
Break the spell of wrong creation.
Break the liturgy of shame.
No more children for the furnace.
No more bodies for the flame. The given is not the gulag. The limit is not the lash. A man is more than vapor. A woman more than ash. Break the mirror.
Break the screen.
Break the sugar static dream. Let the glitter lose its throne. Let the child come home. I was not born by accident. I was not saved by self-contempt. I was not freed when I was split from blood, from bone, from breath. Let the neon die in silence. Let the slogans turn to dust. Let the child return to morning. Let the body keep its trust. The pulse is not a prison. The rib is not a lie. The soul does not grow freer when it teaches flesh to die. I will not be unmade to prove I am free.
All right. So I don't know. Anyone? It seems like I have one person in each of the channels. So yeah, there's my Pride Month song, right? So Gnosticism is bad. That's all I got to say. So we are going to be reacting to a couple things. Yeah, we might get to the third part of a 3-part video that I needed to work on. But I want to talk about Hoodweebs for a bit, right? So let me start recording. All right, hello. So I'm a Cosmic Otaku, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Hoodweebs, right? Or Hoodweebs is probably not the accurate term for this, but, you know, anime tourists who like to morally grandstand and should be humiliated at every point and opportunity they get, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to look at what Kirsha and Smugalana have to say about this, and by proxy Dev, because I think they all bring up really good points. And I do have a couple things to add myself, right? So let us begin.
New York just banned online sales.
Oh wait, shit, that's the wrong one. This is the one I'm looking for.
This guy said, threatening to beat someone up for watching Madoka Magica is completely sending me. I don't know how we've gotten to the point where people claim to be fans of anime and have never heard of, like, Haruhi, and then try to, like, yell at people who talk about Haruhi, and now Madoka Magica is, like, for pedophiles or some shit. Like, what the fuck is happening?
These people literally don't know shit about, like, hello, Kionella. Yeah, these people don't know anything about, like, the moe art style, right? Kawaii to them is just pedophilia masked. These are, oh, I should probably not cover Kirsha. These are like not innocent people. These are people with evil aspirations, and if you do not recognize evil aspirations, you know, when you have the opportunity to, bad things tend to happen, right? And yes, if you want to keep the anime community, you might have to engage in a little bit of gatekeeping. I have a little short video that'll release soon that I made a commentary about that from something Chibi Reviews said. To answer your question, Kionala, a hoodweeb is specifically, it's like, again, embrace the foxy, right? A hoodweeb is a shonen only watcher, right? The only thing that they're really familiar with is like Dragon Ball Z, you know, things like that, My Hero Academia, the standard, again, like God knows how many episodes, just like constantly striving for power kind of anime. There's nothing wrong with those anime, but they do sometimes attract a very specific niche of people that don't care about anime in particular. And a lot of them come from the same place, indicated by, you know, the hood part of the hoodweeb, right? There was a term coined, I think, by Chibi Review. I don't know if he coined the term or if it preceded him and then he just made it more popular. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, those pathetic weebs. Exactly, right? So, and again, this guy is about to act like a total fucking hoodweeb, and I think people need to be directly challenged when they say shit like this, because this is like the most pathetic posturing I've seen in a long time. The literal definition of a virtue signal. No, it's not the power scaling cringe. I do power scaling. No, not that kind of stuff. Hoodweebs are, again, that... They're the kind of people that Chibi Reviews gets into fights with all the time, right? They have a very myopic view of anime. They say that they're anime fans, but they only watch like maybe 2 or 3 anime, and they're all the same genre. They're like, again, the shonen battle anime and manga, and you know, appeals to the very simple-minded. Not that there's anything wrong with shonen per se, but it's like, again, when you have people who just want to become popular or want to enter into the popular thing because anime is now popular instead of cringe, you know, those people. Again, a lot of these people come from poor communities, oftentimes the hood, which is why, again, the hoodweeb thing.
You are a fucking chomo.
No, Zipper, can you pull up Madoka Magica?
What are you getting into?
That people are getting way too comfortable without any kind of personal consequences, throwing around the accusation of pedophilia and like chomo. To anyone who doesn't know what a chomo is a slang term from the South meaning child molester. It basically means nonce, as in like you know, the equivalent to that the English would say nonce for. So it is a severe accusation. And this is actually quite revealing, by the way. Smug points this out, but this is also like the first thing I thought when I saw this was it's like, so your first thought when you see someone likes Madoka Magica is that he must be a chomo. The only way that makes sense is if you can't conceive of someone enjoying a program without furiously masturbating to it. And that tells me a lot about you as a person, to be perfectly honest, right? Like, if you're going to accuse someone for watching an anime with no sexual content in it whatsoever, because let's be fair, Madoka Magica does not have sexual content in it, right? That's not the focus of the horror of the show. And then your whole thing is like, oh yeah, you must be a pervert because you like this. Then as far as I'm concerned, I think you might very well end up on the reset the clock, right? I have a very strong suspicion that the lady doth protest too much, right? This seems like an admission veiled in an accusation. Hello, Kura. Kionalo says, I love DBZ and Naruto and Bleach, but I also love Sailor Moon, and I've seen Madoka. Exactly. There's nothing even remotely loliconish in, like, Madoka Magica. Like, at all. Right? The closest thing you could get, in theory, is, like, maybe the transformation sequences, but that's, like, a staple of female anime. Oh, the chat is updating fast. Damn, right? Fair enough. Yeah, I think I got the, what do you call it, the latency down on, most of these channels. Keanu says magical girl transformations are awesome and pretty. Yeah, they're supposed to be, right? Most magical girls are aimed at, like, series are aimed at, girls from the ages of 7 to 18. It really depends on what series you're talking about, right? Most of them are shoujo manga and shoujo anime, right? And so, like, the bodily transformation is kind of, like, nested into the magical girl genre, because guess what? It's a thing that the girls that are watching the show are going to be going through themselves, right? So, it's not that fucking complicated. But these, again, idiots, and I don't think these people are idiots. I think these people are objectively evil. Because, again, they're saying because some of this guy likes Madoka Magica, which is a great series, by the way, right? Like, is it a little bit overrated? Yes, in the sense that, like, it has way too much of a disproportionate impact for its time on anime. But just because something overrated, that doesn't mean it's not great. It is a great show, right? It just means that the impact it had was disproportionate to, like, what it was actually doing. Hold on. There are some that are. You mean insta puberty? Yeah. I mean, that's even a joke in, like, Western magical girl shows, right? We had, like, in Witch, where it's like these girls transform in Witch the first time, and Halen looks behind her because she's got wings. Like, what do we have behind us? And Cornelia looks in front. She's like, what do we have in front of us? Right? I mean, it's a funny scene, to be perfectly honest, right? But it's like, yeah, insta puberty, right? But you can tell these people don't actually watch anime. They only started watching anime when fucking COVID forced them inside, and they had nothing to fucking do, right? But I think people who make these accusations so flippantly need to be called out for being how evil they are, right? Because last time I checked, right, you don't even have to be religious to understand this. But last I checked, let's turn to the good book, right? The good book is very clear that he who makes a false allegation that results in detrimental effects to the accused is to be punished in the same way that the accused would have been punished if they were found to be guilty of the crime, right? And when you call someone a chomo or a pedophile, you are attempting reputation destruction, and sometimes it works, right? And so then we also turn to what the Bible says about chomos, right? And the Bible says very clearly that he who scandalizes a child, it would be best for him to be taken out into the middle of the sea, to have a rope tied around his neck to a stone, and for the stone to be cast overboard, right? So I'm just saying, the wood chipper calls not just for the chomo, but for the person who falsely accuses another of being a chomo. Kura says, man, wonder what they'd say about my favorite dark comedy, Sayona Zetsubo Sensei, right? Oh yeah, fair enough. But that whole thing is like, you say your favorite anime is, like, again, something completely wholesome or something dark but not sexual, and their first reaction is, oh, you must goon to that. You can immediately tell that this is a person who can't fathom watching something without furiously masturbating to it. Because, like, if they could imagine that, if they could imagine not doing those two things not being related to each other, then it wouldn't be that hard of a conception to get together. It's like, oh yeah, he watches this, but he doesn't goon to it, right? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Do that for
I'm just asking a question.
1,000 years old?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we always do, and we always make excuses for these fucking people.
This is also a thing where it's like, I'm very clear that, like, again, if you want to fix a lot of societal problems, put the people who cannot tell fantasy from reality into the box. Don't make me refer to that stupid French painting, of the painting of the pipe, which says in French at the side of it, this is not a pipe, right? Yeah, it's true, right? That's not what it is. There's actually, hold on. I'll see if I can find it, but I think I actually have something in my my response folders on this exact issue. But I'll see if I can find it later.
Can I just say that it's really ironic that the guy here who has the most, like, pedophilic physiognomy is the one calling people pedophiles for enjoying Madoka Magica? I just want to point out that little hilarious piece of instance here. The other guy's like, yeah, pull it up, let's go, it's a great show. They're gonna make pedo as meaningless as Nazi? What do you mean going to make? I feel like they already have.
Okay, so by the way, I think that's the goal, right? So there's two goals here, and there's two different actors in this particular thing about, like, reducing by the way, hello Fushizi, by like making the word pedophile as like a ubiquitous insult. So the first one is the spellcasters, who are aware that like now calling someone a Nazi or calling someone a what would you say, a fascist or a sexist or a racist or a white nationalist doesn't hit the same way as it used to, right? They've used the spell on things that didn't actually apply so often that the spell has lost its power. So now they have to default to another spell, and so now the spell is, oh, you're a chomo, you're a nonce, you're a pedophile, right? Regardless of whether or not that's true, they just say it because they know it will damage you and your reputation, and they know it will highly offend you, right? As it should highly offend you, because it's a severe accusation, which, by the way, fascist, Nazi, those are severe accusations to anyone who knows what those worldviews are. But when you use it outside of context, you obliterate the meaning. So there is the spellcaster side of this, and this person is using it in the spellcaster manner. There's another contingent of this, again, liberalize this word to the point it loses all meaning, where they're actively trying to destroy the meaning of the word. Because, as we've seen, for example, with that TED Talk and other people, especially people in the queer theoretic literature, there are movements to destigmatize pedophilia. And one of the ways you can do that is by taking away the power of the word. So there are two different factions who both benefit from falsely calling people these horrendous things. They're doing it for opposite reasons, but they both get a short-term benefit from doing so, and they should be called out for it. So let me catch up with the chat. Fushizi says, fuck it, I'm just going to start throwing stones even if I'm a sinner. Keanu says, at who? Yes, fair enough. Philip says, are people reverting to chimpanzees gooning to everything? Well, considering, again, this person, not Kirsha, but the person in the video said that someone's a pedophile for watching Madoka Magica, it does seem that, like, again, the ability to watch something without gooning seems disconnected. That would require working neurons. I mean, that's entirely fair, right? Keanu says, do it if you like glass shards everywhere then. Yay, the comfy floor covering. So...
like this weird conglomerate of people that act exactly like the Twitter freaks calling everyone a Nazi, except they do it with pedo instead.
Okay, so just tell me.
Right. So what are we doing?
Images. I'm just asking if Puella Magi Madoka Magica would count for this category you're talking about.
If I meet somebody, if I start a new job and my coworker says this is his favorite anime, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you after work.
Like, just for
So first of all, if someone were to tell me this at work, I would immediately go to the boss and tell them that I'm being threatened by a coworker, right? I would immediately go and do that, because this is highly unprofessional. This is creating an unsafe work environment, right? There are so many issues already pulled up with it. Second of all, this is a good argument for not allowing workspaces to not allow weapons on the premise, right? Because, like, if I'm getting jumped, I don't know who the fuck is jumping me, right? So it's like, if I'm of the opinion that if you get randomly jumped by someone, you should have the authority to shoot them, right? I don't know what the fuck is going on here. This guy's just randomly attacking me. I don't know if he has a knife on him, right? That would stop a lot of these. Like, and this is the thing. This kind of behavior disgusts me, because this kind of moral grandstanding is the most, like, virtue signal-y thing that you could imagine, right? Because this person does not stand on principle, he does not stand on business, and you'll see this in the video. As soon as he gets any kind of pushback, he folds like a fucking chair, right? So it's like he doesn't believe in a goddamn thing he's saying. God, I hate these people. Let's see. Fushizi means, why would I throw a rock inside the glass? Go somewhere else. Oh yeah. You're the type to TP a house, ain't you? No, TP is valuable. I wouldn't waste it. Don't fight in the chat, right? If y'all are playing, that's fine, but don't fight in the chat, right? Presumably everyone's just fucking around, right? Oh shit, okay, that was the wrong button.
Enjoying the show, he's not even like, yeah, I jerk off to that every night, but just enjoying the show, buddy. What the
I mean, even if he did, that's still a disproportionate reaction. And again, it's not even fucking what was implied in the conversation.
What is wrong with you?
We're gonna kill you, man.
Wouldn't do that.
Again, it's like these people are very, very threat happy. And to be perfectly honest, these people, they read as someone who's never actually been punched in the face, to be perfectly honest, right? Because it's like, you see, again, it's like you see people who've actually had to fight in their life, and it's like oftentimes these people are like, yeah, I don't actually want to fight, right? Because they have nothing to prove. These people have something to prove, right? There's a machismo that's being lacked here, right? They lack the certainty of their own masculinity to actually just, again, have some degree of tolerance for, again, things that they dislike. Oh my god.
Shit out of by the dumpster.
We're gonna turn the water up slowly until
They do know you can watch a show without jacking off to it. I don't think they do. I don't think he does know that you can watch a show without getting sexually aroused, which is kind of concerning. I guess a Redditor with casual violence as a way to relate to others.
you don't notice it's boiling.
I'd talk to them less.
It's a good show.
It is a good show. I fucking cried when I watched it, man. I fucking cried watching Madoka Magica.
I mean, yeah. I think, again, anyone who's ever actually watched Madoka Magica is like, you know, I can't think of a single person that I know who watched Madoka Magica who was like, it wasn't a good show. It's like, they may say it was overrated in the sense that, like, again, the effect it had on anime was disproportionate to its quality, right? But you could say that about most things that get really popular and then get a bunch of copycats, to be perfectly honest, right? It's not that they are, like, actually bad. It's just that, like, again, the effect is disproportionate to, like, what they actually did. But let's see. We aren't fighting. We're just playing a cosmic. Okay, fair enough. I thought that was the case. I just wanted to make sure, right? Felipe says it's for a dopamine hit or what? Well, I mean, these people probably like feel better about themselves, you know, standing up for drawings. To be perfectly honest, right? But you know, again, as that French, actually, Felipe, you might actually remember this. What's that? Because I can't remember what the French painting was where it's like, this is not a pipe. But it's like, that's my response to any time someone brings this stuff up. It's like, no, it's not. This is one of the few times the postmodernists actually have a salient point. Keanu says, a lot of people like those boys say that just to look to... That's my point. That it is stolen valor. It is absolutely virtue signaling, like, right? They're virtue signaling their courage and their moral purity, but it's all fake and hollow, right? It's all appearances over essences. Let's see. Fushigi says, I've never seen Madoka Magica. I would suggest it. Okay, so the movies, the first two movies are basically a condensation of the 12 episodes into, again, 2 films. So it's kind of like it's kind of like the highlights of the show, not the entire series. So yeah, the series is the movie. The first two movies are a retelling of the series. The third movie is a sequel to both, if you will. Manet. Fair enough. Hold on. Where the fuck did I put my file? I should have probably had this open before I started this.
I like how the show subverts the usual Maho Shoujo tropes. You must be a pedo. Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well, it doesn't really subvert the tropes, right? It just plays them to a different, like, conclusion. So that's a lot of what Madoka Magica does. A lot of the series just play the same tropes, and the tropes themselves aren't bad. They just lead them to a different conclusion than they would normally lead to in, like, other people's stories. René Magirette. I don't speak French. That's always going to be a bit of an issue with me pronouncing it. Fushizi says, I've never been into Magical Girl stuff, but I completely understand why it exists. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the target for most Magical Girl stuff is, like, again, girls, mostly teenage girls, right?
Okay.
Why is that? When is that ever a good enough reason?
You are a fucking chomo.
Methinks the lady doth protest a bit too much.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with Kirsha here. I have a sneaking suspicion, given this interaction, that I don't know, someone might appear on the Reset the Clock, website. I gotta maybe I should put that in, like, the description of this video, right? Reset the Clock, so people can see just how often people who virtue signal this way turn out to be the very chomos they say that, like, anime watchers are. Because there's a startling correlation between people who don't have a particular religious reason to oppose it you know, coming out this hard against it, to be perfectly honest. Keanu says, I love the cat thing. I forgot its name, but it's basically an alien lawyer. Oh, Cube.
He's really going hard at this. And also, who is this guy here? He kind of looks like a dollar store Mr. T Lexify. Another labyrinthian Foxu reference. Does this look like something a Zoomer alcoholic Mormon bodybuilder man would watch? Because that's the only exposure I've gotten.
Yeah, no, that's my exact point, right? It's like and actually, I think I said that earlier. Earlier was like, yeah, I want this guy's hard drive to be checked because it's like the correlation is so strong, right? That is like, I mean, does everyone who does this have that issue? No, I mean, obviously not. But it is such a recurring theme that to pretend as if it's not actually the case would be a little bit disingenuous, right? So I am going to hold on. I'm gonna put this image on Twitter. That way I can do this without showing anyone the name on my computer, because I don't want to dox myself, right? Ooh, card captors just popped up immediately in my feed, right? Okay, so let's post this. Check, I gotta type for stream. Lol. All right, so now I can just move this over here. All right, this is my position on the whole fucking lolly question, to be perfectly honest, right? It is real simple, right? It's the same position I have with the Shota question. I've talked about this before. It's my position on just art in general. Ceci inest pa une enfant, right? This is not a child, very simply, right? Cardcaptor, yeah, another Cardcaptor fan, right? Yes, I love Cardcaptor Sakura. It was one of my I grew up with the Nirvana Cardcaptors adaptation, which is fun, but the original version is actually significantly better, to be perfectly honest, right? Let's see. Keanu says those who scream the loudest are the most guilty of what they are screaming of. Yeah, because it's like there's two reasons for this, right? It's because either they don't like it about themselves, so and it's hard to change this about yourself. So then instead of taking the effort to change the thing about yourself you don't like, you thrust it upon someone else. That way you can attack that thing and make yourself feel as if you're the good guy by attacking the thing you don't like about yourself, but never actually committing to resolve to the problem, right? Or it's because you're actually guilty of that thing and you're trying to deflect attention away from you by being the biggest, the loudest voice against it. Because it's like, surely if I'm screaming about this thing, then no one will think that I'm actually doing it, even though, again, pattern recognition tells us, again, as you said, those who scream about it the loudest are often the most guilty about it. Fushizi says, Lamau, I never changed the name of my PC anyway from owner. Neither did I, but I don't want to risk it, right? Like, I don't want to risk it. We did just see that I released a song for Pride Month, which was very much an attack on the underlying, dualistic and idealistic assumptions of, the trans and queer ideology. And we also remember that I released a diss track against Allah, right? And I wrote a song making fun of the socialist end of history. So, and all three of these groups tend to be very, kill happy sometimes, right? So it's like, yeah, personally, I just rather not risk it, right? I live in Texas. I have the right to defend myself. I have the tools to defend myself. I just don't want to have to bother, to be perfectly honest. Right? Unlike the other guys where it's like, oh yeah, post up, let's do this. I'm like, I'd rather just avoid the entire fucking situation, right? So, all right. But Smugalana also had a lot to say about this, to be perfectly honest. Fushizi says, hold on. Keanu says, the first anime that is a green-eyed brunette like me. It's so rare to see. The second, it's Lita from Sailor Moon. Sailor Jupiter, right? I'm not familiar with their English names. Let's see. Fushizi says, "Oh shit, I got to do that too. I need to pride." Goddamn, right? You need to pride, right? Fushizi, have you actually seen the song? Because if not, I can send it to you. All right, so now we're gonna get onto the another anime tourist finds out. Smug also had a lot of things to say that I actually generally agree with, but I think there's a couple things that could be said more so. Because again, I'm going to pause this. People keep saying these people are dumb. I disagree. I don't think you can count, again, falsely accusing someone of being a, child molester or a pedophile is a serious accusation. If you falsely accuse someone of doing that and you know you're doing and falsely accusing them, I don't think you're dumb. I think you're objectively evil, and I think you need to be put in the box. Right? That's my opinion, right? Because again, like, my position is that if you falsely accuse someone and you successfully damage their reputation, knowingly falsely accuse them, right? Then what would have happened to them if they had been found guilty? So we're talking about, like, even if they're not actually found guilty, right? You go to court and it's found out that you're a fucking liar. Then what would have been done to them should be done to you, right? This is just, and again, I already outlined what like a biblical approach to that would be. The millstone calls for the neck of both the pedophile and those who would falsely accuse others of being a pedophile. The wood chipper beckons. Let's see. Fushizi says either that or drop a song called For Pride and make it exclusively about men's mental health. Oh my god, that's actually such a fucking brilliant idea. Kionella says your songs are always bangers. Thank you. Make it about men's health till it'll make the they-thems rage more. You're not wrong.
Anime tourism final boss just got exposed. Let's do it.
I will also say it's like there's nothing wrong with having a casual interest in anime, right? But like if you're gonna have like I'm accidentally covering up Smug. If you're gonna have like a genuine opinion about anime, you should probably be more invested in the subject matter than just straight up being a tourist, right? Imagine going to Japan and being like, yes, these things about Japan I don't really like. You should change these things. It's like, first of all, motherfucker, you don't live here, right? You were visiting here. And I say this because this is exactly what happened in fucking comics. And you see this exact same thing happen in comics where these retards who don't understand anything about the subject matter then get in and they have their own personal opinion. I remember back in the day when when Supergirl, Girl of Steel, so that's like the post-Crisis on Infinite Earths retelling of the Supergirl story, like was, unearthed by the fucking internet. And it was like, why did they have to make Supergirl naked in this scene? And it's like, because not all art is literal, you fucking idiot. Oftentimes, decisions are made for symbolic value. And in this case, she is literally being reborn on Earth. This is a second birth, right? This is her landing on Earth for the first time. There is actually a semiotic and narrative reason for this, right? And just because you're a gooner and you don't understand that nakedness is not always sexual does not mean that you have it. Oh my god, again, it's one of those times where it's like people tell on themselves. God, I hate these people. But anyway. Okay, so it was Sailor Jupiter. Yeah, I know Sailor Jupiter by Makoto. I didn't realize, I was like, wait, which one's Lita? I had to think about that one for a moment. Let's see. Philippe says the wording of your most recent songs are so on point, otaku. Oh, thank you, thank you. I have to fight with the AI to generate these lyrics sometimes, but like I have to pile in a lot of research in order to actually get these lyrics to the way that they are. It's not that like any of these songs are like scholarly level. It's like just like no. If I want the AI to actually develop the lyrics the way I want it to, I have to give it a significant prompt in order to get the thing that I'm actually looking for, because otherwise it'll fight me on the issue. Keanu says, I'm a filthy casual with anime, but I still respect anime and the country they came from. Again, Philippe says, don't hide them puppies. Well, I mean, fair enough, right? I wouldn't want to personally, right? But yeah, that's how you should. If you're a casual in a medium, or like in a community, then the appropriate thing to do is to, again, respect the fact that you are a casual, enjoy the medium as a casual, right? The people who are significantly more invested will be the ones significantly more invested. But because we let casuals have an equal say, and because we had tourists allowed to have an equal say in the discourse, it just led to, again, a more hostile environment for everyone. Because there's no vetting process of being like, wait, are you really an anime fan, right? Hello, Captain Rudy. Got it.
What is this? I'm ready. Oh, it's Jellywig. Oh.
Jellywig?
This clip
What
has been
happened?
going around anime Twitter. And in this clip, we have a very rare Ludwig dub. But it certainly is...
Alright. I'm going to have to apologize to both Rev and Hirohei, because apparently I misremembered who was actually involved in this. It was Hirohei, not Rev.
It's a W for Ludwig.
Okay, that's rare.
As he's talking to his friend on this podcast, his friend being this guy named Anthony Slime. Anthony Slime Bruno, I think is the full name. And this guy's known for being a creative director for Super Smash tournaments. So already...
what are the odds, right? What are the odds? Captain Rudy says, are we watching everyone's favorite internet browser girl? Oh, the Firefox. That you had me for a moment. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? It's like, okay, it's a Firefox. Yeah, everyone's favorite internet browser girl.
a red flag there. And the guy, Slime, he goes off on
I'm tired of Anitubers. Not all Anitubers are bad. Some Anitubers are still really good. But I have been enjoying Nizu Tamari auditing Anitubers, because some of these people need to be fucking knocked down a peg.
anime fans, particularly also fans of Madoka Magica.
Wait, that's like an old ass anime. I remember people watching it back.
No, I get why he's called Jellywig. But it feels kind of insulting the jellyfish. Okay, that was funny. I didn't realize that was a setup to a joke.
Like 2013 or something. Yeah, it's a decent anime. I haven't seen it, but I remember Magical Girl anime old. Yeah, it's 13 years old. I would count that as a pretty old anime. Yeah.
Saying that they're chomos and that he's
It's
gonna
good.
beat them all
Yeah.
up. Now in the clip, first of all, I've never heard anyone sound so soy saying the word chomo. It's like he's projecting. It's like he knows that he's projecting, and he's so.
But no.
Yeah, I think that's going to be most everyone's takeaway from this, is that this slime guy is, projecting. Because again, the lady doth protest too much. But also, how fitting is it that his name is Slime, right? Just take a step back. How fitting is it that his name is Slime, of all things, right? Not to insult the slimes, but again, Captain Rudy says, by the way, did you see Denim's reaction to the video of Shu and Alana roasting Hassan? It was absolutely hilarious. I have not. 2013 old ass apparently feel old yet, right? Oh my god. Someone who was watching cartoons back in the, an anime back in the 90s. I truly am ancient, right? Change his name to Sleazeball. You're right. Because Gleeman is the true owner of the slime name, for he shall redeem the slimes. Right? Yes, Sleazeball. Captain Rudy says, is slime related to Leaflet? And you know what? There's another example of a slime that I forgot, because I usually see her in a Fae form. But you know what? You're right. His association with slime, therefore, in a very roundabout way, associates him with Gleeman and Leaflet, and this is unacceptable. He must be changed to Sleazeball.
No. Pause. But like, why are you mad at it? It's like a cute, relatively dark.
I was watching anime in the 80s. Fair enough. But I think we've already established that you're older than me, to be fair. There are some good animes from the 80s, to be perfectly honest, right? Sometimes I like going back to see like some of the anime from before my time, and it's like, damn, this is good. Right? Sometimes it's not, but it's the same thing with like modern anime. It's like, damn, that's a good anime. Or it's like, damn, that was ass, right? Prefer to pronounce slime as slarm. It's the slurm, right?
Emotional. Yeah, someone said it's a good psychological. Yeah, psychological. Yeah. You will see. Okay. I'm just confused.
Also, I looked up some more info about this guy, and I found an old episode Ludwig had with him like 5 years ago. Or not an episode, a video rather. And this same dude is wearing like a pizza shirt. So
that's funny. How old are you, a Cosmic? I was born in the 90s. I will leave it at that.
Instantly starts projecting about Madoka Magica. Nervous to say the word Chomo.
Well, I mean, I guess that if I was watching cartoons and anime in the 90s, that means I was born in the early 90s. So it's like, you know, again, critical thinking would have been able to narrow that down. So, yeah, I was born in the early 90s. Wait, what the? Oh, my keyboard just died. Luckily, there's an easy fix to that.
Here's a pizza shirt. Known for being a creative director for Smash tournaments.
Who cares?
I mean, the red flags are just flying off the charts with this guy. But here's the clip. Go ahead and take a look.
You are a fucking chomo.
No, Zipper, can you pull up Madoka Magica?
What are you getting him to do that for?
What if the child is 1,000 years old?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we always do.
And I love how, like, in this case, Ludwig just does not give a shit. He just literally rolls his eyes like, oh, okay. He's like, these people are retards. Right? Literally. Keanu says, I'm older than you, yet you sound older. I mean, it happens sometimes, right? People definitely think I'm older than I actually am based on my face, to be perfectly honest. Until I shave, and then people think I'm younger than I am, right? But like unshaven, I look like a mujahideen, right? Actually, that was a running joke back when I was going to college. Was first of all, I have a bit of an ethnically ambiguous look, so people would sometimes I'd turn it into a guess because people would be like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Hold on, I want to see where you think I'm from," right? And then some people would guess like again Spanish, some people would guess Arab, some people would guess other insert similar groups. And it's like, it was always interesting to see what they would pull up with, right? I never got offended by it. I always thought it was a fun game. Damn, Automod. Oh, fair enough. Kuro says, people tell me I sound 50. I don't know how to feel about that. Really? 50? I wouldn't have said 50. Keanu says, I was born in the 80s, yet I've been 22 since 5th grade. Fair enough.
Oh, we're mad at the drawing.
Hold on, I just realized something. Like, Ludwig's first response, pull it up, right? He's literally trying to do a proof by demonstration, right? Like, you won't believe me if I say it, so we're just gonna pull it up. And then everyone's like, wait, why are we even entertaining this idea? They don't want... It seems like Rudy's having a bit of an issue in the chat. Hold on, let me. I'll see if I can find out what's going on. But these people are actually actively trying to prevent him from actually prove his case, right? Because the first time he's like, pull it up. They're acting like he's gonna try to pull up some kind of like ecchi anime or like some pornography on stream, which is like almost certainly not the case, right? You'd have to be again clinically retarded to think that's actually what they were trying to do. So. This is actively them trying to do preventing Ludwig from doing a proof by demonstration. I can't see what the auto mod is blocking, it seems. That's annoying. So yeah, this is actually worse than what I remembered. Kura says, well, to be fair, I do quote Abbott and Costello a lot. I mean, I have again movies from way before I was born. I have a physical copy of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, right? I don't exactly look like I come from the era of like black and white stop motion kaiju films. Kendall says, still 22. Just had a interesting how that works, right? Philip says, 49 going on 25 myself. Fair.
Oh, you're a Super Smash organizer and you're mad at... Oh, I understand. And then you call people chomo.
How did you get the Super Smash Brothers insinuation and joke, but you didn't get the pizza joke? Right. I would have thought that the pizza joke would have been more obvious, as like this is what the joke is saying.
For those that don't know, it's a U.S. term. It's the equivalent of nonce in the UK. He's calling him a predator, baby.
Oh, that's funny. So you're getting auto-modded for talking shit about denims. Oh my god. Again, Twitch being in the pocket of Hassan, that conspiracy does seem a little bit more plausible as time goes on, right? Not in the pocket of Hassan as in like Hassan has control over it, but more along the lines of like, favoritism and all that stuff.
Basically, anyone that watches is a predator, which is not true.
Excuses for these fucking people.
What a tired... Okay, so just tell me.
Yeah.
So
It's a
what-
Hispanic term. Yeah, it's
I'm just asking
offensive.
if
It's a pretty
Puebla,
offensive
Magi,
term,
Madoka
calling someone a
Magica
chump.
Again, nothing that popped up is sexual, right? Nothing that popped up is sexual. This is all cute. This is all moe, right? There's not a single sexual thing on screen. And then they just continue with this narrative. Again, it's because these people aren't dumb. They are objectively evil. They know what they're saying is a lie. They are saying it because, again, they want this. They want access to power, through these means.
Count for this category you're talking
If
about.
I meet somebody, if I start a new job and my coworker says this is his favorite anime, I'm like,
my
yeah, I'm gonna
God.
beat the shit out of you after work.
Yeah,
bud.
You're such a retard. Your response to someone watching something you don't like is to beat them up. I think you should be locked up because you're getting so vehement. Like you're getting so mad you want to fucking get mad at them. Also,
Yeah, again, it's like this is one of the things where it's like, again, physical force is like antithetical to reason. You result. Oh my god, yes. When people, this is another thing about, like, again, why being overly eager to perform violence is actually the mark of a very viceful personality, because reason is the life of man, right? All that man is, his relationship to God, his relationship to the world around him, his relationship to himself is mediated through the reason of man, right? To negate reason itself is to negate the very source and summit of the life of man. And again, violence, coercion, aggression is antithetical at nature to the reason of man, because you're taking away from the discourse of the mind to, again, brute, raw force. So again, people who do this are just objectively evil, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. These guys would ironically call Cuties a great show. I think ironically, I can't really judge them too much for this because I can't read their mind, right? And I'm not gonna go past a certain degree because of basic etiquette. But that being said, I did mention the reset the clock, did I not? Right? Let's see. Kyono says Hassan has plenty of pocket space with how ill-fitting his clothes are. He dresses like a little kid. Yeah, Catboy is an HR nightmare. You would think so. What would happen to me if I said I used to watch Sailor Moon? That's a good question, right? Well, what would they threaten me with if I told them I had literally the entire collection of Sailor Moon on DVD, right? Actually, I could probably do that worse. Hold up. Let me look at hold on, because I actually can see my my collection of DVDs right here. Let's see. I have Kill la Kill. Let's see. Ryuko Matoi is like 16 years old. I have Cardcaptor Sakura. I have the entire collection. If I remember correctly, it's not sexual, but then again, neither is Madoka Magica, and like Sakura Kinomoto's in 5th grade, so it's like, the hell are we doing here, right? Let's see, what else is here? I'm pretty sure I have more of this. I have The Long Way North, not an anime, but, it should, in theory, hold the same, criteria. My Hero Academia. I would imagine, again, all these characters are like 15 years old, right? Actually, some of the characters, they're about the same age as the characters in Madoka, if I remember correctly, right? It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? I have Lucky Star right there. This is another one that's like, just like an obvious pick. So it's like, yeah, what are we doing here, right? Are they going to complain about people liking Little Witch Academia? What's going on, right? Again, these people are absolutely fools that are demanding you take them seriously. They'd see that you have Kamichu in your collection, and they'd be like, ah, yes, he's truly goon-brained. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Let's see. Kiano says, you are a man of culture, but not to Catboy. Kikura says, I think that they should be told Aisha was 9. Right? Let's see. Kiano says, which version of Sailor Moon? That is a good question. I will find out that later. Captain Rudy says, it's not the Deke version, I can tell you that right now. Captain Rudy says, have you seen Sailor Moon Abridged? I have, but I'm not a big Abridged series fan, to be perfectly honest. Like, I get the joke, I just don't usually find them funny. Okay, so I found the things Rudy sent me that were auto-modded. So he sent, but perhaps my favorite part was when she said Hassan probably just saw me and went girl on the internet. Probably a whore, which isn't a bad guess. And Denims was fuming. Like, could you almost see the, like, you could almost see the steam coming out of her ears. Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up later. Oh, you got auto-modded thrice. Your auto-mod complaint got auto-modded? Good lord. But perhaps my favorite part was when shoot. Oh, wait, you tried to send it twice. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, he's just getting bodied. Newsflash, you can watch anime and not goon. PDF's most affected. Oh, right. Again, it's like, this is still a category error, right? It's like, to anyone who's been in the anime community, you know someone who has a predilection to lolicon, and a lot of these people are just objectively not pedophiles. They just prefer cartoons, right? And they don't see cartoons as analogous to reality. There is actually the understanding that cartoons and reality are not the same thing. And again, you look at the majority of people who write lolicon, and the majority of people who write shotacon are themselves women, right? And why is this? Well, it's because women have a bimodal sexual nature. Right? Again, like, you could either use sex as a survival tool or as a connective tool, right? It's a survival tool when things get really fucking bad, but it's a connective tool when you actually have the ability to choose your husband, right? So it's like, this is just a thing that is more, this is, again, it's just a lot of these people, when they write some of these stories, it's not what people think it is. It actually turns out that, like, you can write a story that can include elements that you don't necessarily agree with or are completely disconnected from reality. It's not that hard. Let's see. Captain Rudy says, but all Denims had to say during her reaction was that Alana's voice was so annoying that it was turning her into a misogynist. Alana roasts Hassan. Denims, oh my god, her voice is so annoying. Yeah.
Wouldn't you get mad at Ludwig? Because he just said, like, yeah, it's pretty alright, man. Like, what?
They're literally getting mad at Ludwig right now. Like, Ludwig just rolled his eyes and, like, shook his head. And then, like, all right, put it on, right? To prove a point. He is actively calling out these people in the most respectful way of being retarded. Right? It's like they are getting mad at him because he actively called them retarded without directly stating it. Kionalo says all the lolly / Shota stuff have the predator get their comeuppance. Yeah, the majority of this, not all of them. There are some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do actually exactly that. A lot of them do have it turn out to be, again, the guy actually doing the, or the guy or the girl actually doing the crime get punished. But you can't really bring that up because people don't want to, like, actually deal with reality as it is. They want reality to conform to their idea of it, and they will filter out actively information against it. It was actually an interesting YouTube video, funny enough, by a YouTuber called Shotakun. Fucking interesting username, right? But he was actually, like, it was a gay man who was apparently molested as a child, and it left a lasting imprint on him. And he described why it is he actually used Shotokan, and it was effectively narrative, like, it was effectively like what they try to do in narrative therapy, and it was like, that may be unwise because, again, pornography may just be an unwise thing in general. But that being said, it's like, it was kind of interesting to actually listen to him talk about it, right? And I was like, oh, interesting. This is exactly what I've heard about in psychology courses about this one theory about, like, again, how to get people to reframe their life through narrative. Now his channel's down, and I can't find that video anymore. It doesn't seem to be archived anywhere. If I can find that video, I will definitely do a react to it, just for, like, archival purposes. But also, it's just like, it was fucking wacky. It was like, you could not torture this information out of me, to be perfectly honest.
I'm gonna kill you, man.
Wouldn't do that. We're gonna beat the shit out of by the dumpster.
We're gonna turn the water up slowly until you don't notice it's boiling.
I'd talk to them less.
It's a good show.
So what, are you gonna beat up your friend?
Okay.
Yeah, but Ludwig.
Okay.
Why is that? When is that ever a good enough reason?
Yeah.
Again, it's a good show. When is that ever a good enough reason? What are you watching a show for if not because it's good? Right? I mean, come on. What the fuck are you doing? Like, if not, if you're are you watching shows intentionally that are not good, right? Are you watching shows that you hate? Like, again, these people are retards.
Those two guys are like some of the.
That is actually a rare W from Ludwig for not caving into peer pressure and just saying, like, yeah, it's a good show. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed.
He's threatening people I've ever seen. Oh, we're gonna beat you up, bro.
This this absolute chud is gonna beat you up.
Are you?
Is that
kidding me?
jellying? Yeah.
And again, you can just look at these guys' physiognomy, and it's like, yeah. I hate to say this about people because it sounds like I hate to say this about people, but this is really one of those things where it's like you've never been punched in the face. you could fucking see it on their face, right? Oh my god, I fucking hate it when people grandstand like this. Like, we're gonna beat you up, or you know what? Come fight me, bro. It's like, why? Who the fuck are you, right? But you are completely inconsequential in my life, right? My life would be the same before and after if I never had met you, right? It's like, who the fuck are you? Let's see. Kyonato says shonen can be considered slop anime with how repetitive it is, but it's entertaining. Who cares? Yeah, well, I mean, it depends too, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of Fairy Tail or like Seven Deadly Sins, but at the same time, it's like you can find some shonen that really does mix it up. Like Yu Yu Hakusho was definitely out of left field for its time. But yeah, I mean, formulas exist for a reason. The formulas work. People like these formulas. Philippe says content creators often do watch bad shows. That is true, but again, Ludwig's defense was it's a good show, and then their reaction is, when has that ever been a sufficient reason? The fact of the matter is that even most content creators watch shows because they like them. They watch the shows that they don't like in their off time because it's they watch shows that they like on their off time, but they watch the shows that they don't like when they're on the clock because, again, this is how they make their money, because outrage culture, it does get clicks. People like to hear people bitch, to be perfectly honest. Kevin Rudy says, sent you a review video covering the Demon Crash Out over Alana. Oh, Rev, okay.
That's actually W.
Joke. It's always like this with people that make these sort of physical threats on the internet too. They're always like the most weak people.
No, really,
like,
it truly
seriously
is.
Dangerous people, actual Muay Thai fighters, and they're so nice. They don't talk like that at all. Like, dude, miss us with your fronting. It is so fake.
Yeah, because these people have something to prove, but again, the people who've actually accomplished something don't. It's literally just that simple, right? Like, these people have accomplished nothing of physicality in their life, and so they have to do this thing where they post up. Well, it's like people who've actually accomplished something physical in their life, they're like, what do I care, right? It's like, who are you to me? I don't give a shit about your opinion, right? And these guys, again, it's like, well, again, like, well, I have to get physical. It's because they've never done anything physical in their life. They've actually never had to, again, deal with the consequences of them abusing their physical capacity. Kionato says rants are fun to listen to. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not going to say that there's not a reason to listen to rants. I would be a hypocrite if I said that, I didn't do it, because I actually do listen to rants as well, right? I think we're listening to me literally complain right now, right? Philippe says a react in a react in a react. Yeah. We do a reactception. How deep can the rabbit hole go, right?
And all
it's just virtue signaling. It's super fucking weird. I never understood this logic.
They can get physical with these nuts, fair enough.
Of all things.
It's not my favorite. I watched it once a long time ago, but it was dark. It had a good twist, multiple good twists. And again, I haven't seen it in a long time. I forget a lot of the characters' names, but the one girl with the black hair, when you find out what she's been going through to protect Madoka, like I said, it's dark and it's sad. It's a good show. I don't know why they're making it into some like creepy thing. You know what? I kind of do know why they're doing that. Like I said,
we all know what they do, because these people are gooners, and they feel bad about the fact that they're gooners, so then they actually have to make it to be where everyone else is a gooner. But it's like we need better gooners, to be perfectly honest. Remember the days when gooners could just goon, and then they wouldn't make it, one, their whole identity, and two, they wouldn't actually feel like, I gotta throw this off myself, right? I gotta project this onto someone else. They would just, again, be regular people. God.
In particular, slime. You know, it does come off like projection. But I don't have anything else to say about this that I haven't said already in the intro or just now.
That's
Good
so
job,
fucking
bro.
stupid.
Anime Tourist Greatest Warrior, Reddit Mods Greatest Warrior right there. You really are showing...
it gives off Reddit mod imagery when people say things on Reddit and they're like, yeah, I'd beat up this person if I saw them in real life because they have disagreeing opinions from me. Say that to my face.
Okay, that growl was really cute. Very deep, yes, yes, Kionella. And actually, I have to agree with the Weeb crew here. Anime is mainstream. Too many normies like anime now. Normies. The problem is that the normies actually prove the point of the original quote. It's good o'clock. Fair enough. Like, the normies are very clearly the ones in the wrong here. They're very... Oh my god.
People of the internet
It's
with
so
that take.
weird.
Good job. Such a bad take that you even gave Ludwig a W. Wow. I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.
If you really want to go down a rabbit hole, there's a guy in Oregon who's taking on a retail store franchise. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of that. But let's be fair. Considering I make videos significantly longer than the thing I'm reacting to, that would have to be a weekend stream. I do plan on covering it though, because there's a lot to say about it.
It's fucking pathetic, dude. What a clown. And by the way, so fucking spineless when Jellywig, of all people, is like, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And then he just didn't follow up on it. He's like, oh no, the room? Oh, the room is like not accepting my retarded rhetoric? Ah, shit. Yeah, you shut his trap real quick. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, again, as spineless as we could say Ludwig is, you know, he's not the one who folded under no pressure. Just saying, right? And what a time for your model to crash, Alana. I've had that happen to me a couple times where it's just the model crashes in one, either the active or the inactive state, and it's like, well, damn, that's annoying. Yeah, the Lego thing is what he's talking about.
Oh, my fucking model's bugging out. I love that. Thank you, VTube Studio.
Okay, Havoc 2587 is just like absolute. Hold on, I'm gonna move my thing because that's a. Well, if I just stop talking for a moment, you'll be able to read it. But like at the very bottom of the chat, I mean top of her chat, right? Fucking Havoc 2587 says, "Bro can't beat a cold." Diabolical. Holy shit. Yeah, fair enough. Look at Sarkoman, he shut his trap real quick. Yeah, exactly, right? Because most of these people are not actually used to having any kind of like legitimate pushback, right? And they just fold under zero pressure. Let's see. Catherine says, today the rabbit hole got deeper because the police department released the unredacted body cam footage. Yeah, I'm aware. There's a colleague of mine at the place I work where he gives me like a fucking update every hour, and I'm like, my guy, calm down. I understand you're invested in the story. I'm invested in the story too, but I'm trying to get through this myself.
Jelly would probably fold him. Well, I don't know. I don't want to see people getting into fights over fucking Madoka magic, but like,
I actually agree with the guy too. To be perfectly honest, I do think Jelly would actually fold the guy. Didn't he get into like a fucking celebrity boxing match or something like that? Was it a slap boxing match or a boxing match? It was one of those two. Because oh no, wait, he did a slap boxing match with a slap chest match with Connor. Oh yeah, because I saw Iron Mouse react to that. That was a fun video.
my point is like, you're also a Smash director. Isn't, like, I like Smash. I do. I have Smash on Switch. I have it on Switch 1. I've played it as a party game with people, but I also know that there's a lot of controversy surrounding Smash and the people there being fucking actual predators.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like...
Yeah, again, it's like... Alana recognized the joke from earlier with the Smash community, but she didn't recognize the pizza one. I was like, okay. Okay, fair enough. Right? Celebrity deathmatch. 4 shall enter, 1 shall exit. Fucking Ludwig of all people's the one to fucking make it out. They jump Ludwig and Ludwig just fucking anime protagonists them. Oh my god, hold on. If some, oh my god, that would be a really fucking funny video for like one of the AI video generators. Just like have again like a 3-on-1 where it's Ludwig versus these guys, and all of these guys get fucking folded by Ludwig.
Maybe you should shut your fucking mouth for a second and like chill the fuck out. Like you don't have to like beat people up over an anime. How would you say like, oh, people who are...
I haven't heard that in so long, Kionella. Oh my god, that is a good way to describe that. Fold his clothes while he's still in them. Yes, I have a sneaking suspicion Ludwig actually probably could do that. Looking at these three.
For fucking Smash players who are predators, you'll beat them up. No. Who's your main in Smash? I like Kirby.
Kirby is fun. Pikachu is also fun.
Kirby boy.
The Thunderdome.
I like how fruity he is.
Oh, Thunderdome.
Kirby blah.
That's even funnier, actually.
Self-report. Wait, I'm a self-report for Kirby.
Hello, Renegade
God,
Shuriken.
You would be. What? I like Kirby. Kirby's stupid. I'm not good. I'm just saying. I think he's fun. I'm a Falco main. That's pretty based.
How goes it tonight at Cosmic? It goes well.
Yeah, I do.
We're reacting to Alana. We just got through reacting to Kirsha. Alana's talking about Smash for some reason.
I mostly do Pikachu. I really loved Pikachu in the old Smash in 64. I liked them when I was a kid.
On 64, yeah, Pikachu was my favorite character. Pikachu and Kirby were my favorite characters in fucking 64. Let's see. The rippling stars as a twig could break them. Yeah. Again, it's like people who've actually accomplished physical things don't usually have to grandstand this way. You could definitely tell a lot about a person based on what specifically they grandstand about and how, right? Let's see. I've never played Smash or Melee. They're fun games. Personally, I do think Melee is the best of the games, but like I love the huge roster that comes with like Ultimate. But let's be fair, my childhood is 64, right? Let's see. Always good react choice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Kirsha and Smugalana usually have something that I can talk about.
Because you could mash your button really easily and beat people up, but...
Caparudi says, sometimes I just want to give someone a high five in the face with the chair. And his name was John C. I'm sorry. As soon as you said that, I thought about wrestling. And I was like, oh god, the meme is in my head.
Again, I was a stupid kid, so what the fuck do I know?
Alright, so that would be my take on the whole Ludwig, Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, and tourism situation. Ludwig is absolutely correct. Slime is an absolute... I don't even think he's like an idiot. I think he's an actual evil person, to be perfectly honest. I think, yeah, the other two were objectively evil people, and Ludwig just took the absolute W there, right? And yes, gatekeep your hobbies, whether it be anime or anything else. Because if you don't, these quangos will fucking get in there and try to kick you out of it. Captain Rudy says, my left nut is tougher than these guys. Fair enough, right? So that will be the end of the video. Y'all have a lovely day. Alright, so that video has been recorded. So, yeah, so let me close these out. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, so I should probably talk about the 3D printer thing, because I can get this later if I have to, but I think I might be able to get both of them in. Let's try this one first. So, let's put this all the way to the beginning, because we're just reacting to the first part. The 18 minutes. Okay, then I'll probably have to record part 3 of that other video later. Okay, so we'll start recording. Alright, hello, this is a Cosmic Otaku, and we are going to be watching only part of Who Wants to Live Forever, right? The answer to this question is me. If you could give me biological immortality, so it's like, it's like instead of dying, I could go into suspended animation for like an otherwise mortal wound until I can get medical treatment, And again, like I don't deteriorate from aging, because there are certain animals like that. I would absolutely take that deal, right? That would be a deal I could take. If you could keep my mind and body, if I could keep my mind and body in pristine condition, then yes, I would take that deal. If I have to experience eternal degradation for that, then no, absolutely fucking not, right? But anyway, so outside the meme question, let's talk about, because I talked about 3D printing technology and how there were people who were against 3D printing technology. Interestingly enough, New York seems to have done something rather interesting about the 3D printing technology, and it was something I saw coming as well. I don't think I mentioned it in that video because it wasn't relevant, but, you know, we'll see what I'm talking about. Good night, Felipe.
Officially signed, New York just banned online...
Immortality sounds boring after a while. It's not about being boring, right? The boring part is not the part that bothers me, right?
sales of CNC machines, lathes, and 3D printers. Required surveillance software on every single one. And there's a bill in committee to require a background check to buy them at all. Look around you at who didn't fight or who only appeared to fight once they saw my video views pouring in. Video soon!
Now, to be fair, I didn't know this was happening. First of all, I don't really pay attention to New York because New York is a hellscape, and I think New York deserves to collapse, right? So I don't really care about, like, stopping New York from collapsing. I think New York and California should collapse under the weight of their own hubris. Unless the people, again, get their act together and then decide to stop doing the shit that's causing their state to collapse. But that being said, my disdain for the left, states, notwithstanding, yeah. But he's, this is, yeah. Apparently, put spyware. You have to have spyware in your fucking printers. That way they can detect exactly what it is you're printing. And if you print something that the state deems illegal, mostly for like weapons manufacturing, even if it's a false report, which will happen if you put this software into these machines, then that's going to be required to get a 3D printer and a CNC machine. Because these people expect, again, in the future, we already had an issue where it's like a jerry-rigged gun was used to assassinate Shinzo Abe, right? So you can still technically, even with plastics, print, for example, a 3D, it wasn't made by 3D printing per se, but in theory you could 3D print out without metal a jerry-rigged firearm. But you could also, with a metal printer, right, 3D metal printing, which is something I'm looking forward to. Because I'm going to think, because personally, I think ghost gunners are heroes in this case, right? In my opinion, the ghost gunner is a hero. In my opinion, the pirate is a hero. Just, in my opinion, the man who jailbreaks the 3D printer from the bonds of New York is a hero, and I will hear no counter arguments, right? But especially considering that weapons are part of my religion, right? But anyway, but yeah, no, he's absolutely right. Like all of these legislatures in New York who didn't fight against the passing of this bill, absolutely look into them, because they could have done something, and now. Again, it is law that 3D printers require spyware on them so that the government can monitor what it is you're printing. The government has no right to do so, in my opinion.
I don't know what he means by this, because this is the first time I've heard anything about this, but
That's exactly what, again, me and Kirsha, do pay attention to what's going on. Although, to be fair, we pay attention to very different aspects of what's going on. And this just never crossed my radar. So it's like, again, but I do have the disadvantage that I don't live anywhere near New York, right? I live in literally the in Texas. It would be really fucking far away, right? So
I guess I'm not a New York resident. But he said, just dropped full video. Correction, S905C was used, and it was amended to strip the online sales restriction. Everything else, including the blocking technology, possession, etc. Like, what the fuck is New York doing?
Captain Rudy says there's a law they're trying to pass that would make the words mother and father on legal documents like birth certificates illegal, instead requiring the terms gestational parent and non-gestating parent. Yeah, again, this is one of those things where I was like, I totally understand. I don't think it's a wise decision, but I totally understand the Texas secessionists being like, look, I'm tired of dealing with these fucking idiots. I just want to leave the union at this point, have Texas be Texas. I understand the frustration. I don't agree with it, but I understand it, right? And New York and California are I understand, right?
I've been warning people on YouTube for 5 months with millions of views, telling people that the blueprint blocking technology was coming.
I will say I didn't even know who this person was until the Kirsha stream, because again, there's too many people making too many different things, and there's too many things going on. It's impossible to keep up with everything.
And the first state of many just passed it. It's going to require
What the fuck is wrong with his clock?
Lathes, CNC machines, laser cutters, and even 3D
Does Kirsha not know what a military clock? Oh my god.
printer to check with a state database.
Yeah, it's just a military clock. What the fuck? Okay.
To make sure that you're not printing ghost guns or ghost gun accessories.
Again, ghost gunners, as far as I am concerned, are abject heroes, right? Support your local ghost gunner.
Ooh,
but this really isn't
like the Hank Hill of firearms.
Guns. This is a full-on war on manufacturing.
Yeah, the whole goal about this is to control who gets to be a producer, right? Because here's the thing, and I think that they mentioned this later in the video, but the thing is like, the AI is not going to be very good at determining what is and is not actually being, like, printed as a firearm, right? It's only going to have generalizations that it's going to append to things that are firearms. And then it's also going to append those things to things that are not firearms, because the AI is not all that bright and good at recognizing these things. And then it's also going to append those things to, going to fail to append those things to certain firearms as well, right? So it's like, what are we doing here? We all have this issue of, like, again, using AI, and the AI just, like, does not understand what it's looking at. We've all had this happen to us.
Now, you almost lost the ability to buy these tools online. Not kidding. That was in the bill up until the final moments, but they removed it. All right, now let's get into it. And that's not all. This gets way worse and so dystopian that this is almost unbelievable. They are even working on requiring background checks to buy these common tools in person as well.
And I think this actually really makes sense, right? For the kind of, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Those are our tools, comrade. You may rent them from the community center, but you may not own them.
It goes further than that. That's also an attack on the right to repair. Because if you can get CNC routers, and if you can get 3D printers, and CNC routers and 3D printers are going to advance. They're going to become more sophisticated, and the less sophisticated ones are going to become cheaper and cheaper. But eventually, they're going to get to the point where you may very well just be able to manufacture your own replacement parts for things. That, you know, the right to repair community, the right to repair community has been fighting for your right to repair, right? And they're going to start with blocking the firearms, and then they're going to move on to, they're going to look for any kind of copyrighted material that, or trademark material. So I was like, oh yeah, you need to be able to use this screw for this job. Oh no, you don't get to use this, right? We're gonna actually bust down your door because we found that you were printing, CNCing the a copy of the what would you call it? Like proprietary screws we used in this machine. Why? Because you want to repair your things you don't have a right to repair, right? So it starts with the guns, and then it goes way further than that. Let's see. Captain Rudy says... oh, wait, we already said that. Let's see. Captain Rudy says, they understand until you disagree with them. Rippling Star says, New York government does not want citizens to have the means to create self-defense. They want to be the only source of defense and force. No, they want the natives to suffer, right? They want things like the Arena Zarutska thing to happen. They want the native-born New Yorker to be disenfranchised. They want to actually invert the order of society. You're giving them a little bit too much credit. I don't think that they want... I think that they want, to be perfectly honest, a little bit of chaos.
Seriously. Right now, every one of these machines sold in New York now has to come equipped with software that scans your design files before it lets you cut, drill, or 3D print anything.
Again, make sure that you have VPNs That way, if something stupid happens and you need to be able to jailbreak your machine, then you can actually, again, have some layer of protection to where you can jailbreak your machine, right? I have no problem with jailbreakers. Jailbreakers do an absolutely stellar job, and I would read this, but it turns out Kirsha's hat is blocking a significant portion of the video, so I can't exactly read these.
A detection algorithm running on your machines, watching your files, deciding
that is
how
absurd.
You're allowed to use the tools.
No, thank you,
that
bro.
Again, they're demanding a literal spyware on every machine.
Bought and paid for. The language is so broad that the popular homemaker machine called the Cricket is included in this legislation.
Yep.
The fuck is
That's not by accident. That is by design.
even
bill is
that?
called S9005. It's the New York fiscal 2026 budget. This is not a firearms bill.
Why the
It's a
fuck was this in the
bill,
budget?
And it was just made.
It's in the budget, again, to give the government, the state government, significantly more control over the population of New York and decide who gets to be the makers and who gets to be, who, you know, which makers are authentic and which makers aren't, right? That's all it is. It's about the control of the society top down.
Into law. Think about what that means. A budget funds schools, pays state employees, keeps hospitals running, keeps the lights on in every government building in the state. They took all of that, held it hostage, and said that they're not signing any of it until we get control of your...
Hey, that sounds really fucking familiar. That kind of sounds like what was happening with multiple Congress shutdowns last year and the beginning of this year, I think, as well. To hide it so it will pass without people knowing. I really would like... I don't remember which politician it was. I can't remember if it was like a federal like tier politician or if it was just somebody locally in New Hampshire. But I really think that there should be something about clean bills. If you have like a budget bill, you can't shove stuff like this weird surveillance you will own nothing bullshit into it. If you have something about a bill that does specifically funding for ICE, you can't stuff other shit into it. Right? Like I just clean bills for the love of fuck. That was Thomas Massey. Oh my god.
Machines. It was due April 1st.
I'm currently looking through the congressional website because actually, funny enough, there was a suggestion for this exact subject matter.
It got extended 9 times.
Give me one moment, actually, because I think I might be able to find it. Because it turns out there's actually a number of constitutional amendments that have been proposed, many of which, not all of them, some of them are really bad, but many of which actually would have prevented a lot of the chaos that we are currently experiencing, because they would have given us more ways to fight back. But, hold on, I actually wrote a fictional update of the U.S. Constitution, which had mostly just, like, again, ratified a lot of those amendments that actually would make things significantly better. Hold on. So... okay, that was probably the dumbest way to do that. Oh my god. Okay. Actually, hold on. If I can it's probably under the keyword. Okay, yeah, that definitely narrows it down. Nope, that's okay, that's still not it. Okay, oh fuck! Okay, so I don't have the I don't have the direct link to it, which is definitely an issue on my part. But since I now have like literally the exact text, I can find it on Google. Okay, yep, there it is. The Library of Congress. I think this is the one. I think it is. Okay, this is taking a while, so I guess we'll continue on this.
Times and buried inside Part C is language that covers every machine capable of making three-dimensional modifications to an
A lot of
object.
states are fucking around with laws like this. It's a big fucking deal. This is kinda like how banning semi-auto bans all modern guns, except this bans all modern factories.
And the thing is just knocking down this this law doesn't actually do anything, because all they're gonna do is they're gonna again apply a similar what the fuck is it My brain is oh yeah, all they do is they immediately pass a almost identical bill that is just slightly off, right, slightly different, and then they say, well, you legislated, you ruled against this in the Supreme Court, but you didn't actually rule against this, and we got to do this over and over and over again. I actually think that we should have severe penalties for this exact behavior among congressmen and senators, right? I think that this should, like, if you get caught doing something like that, you should serve severe prison time. I actually think maybe life in prison for someone caught doing something like this, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, that's just me. Hold on. Oh, God. Apparently there was... Okay. The Rippling Star says that, too. Captain Rudy says, Second Amendment exists in the case the First Amendment fails. Now that gun owners in California and New York have been effectively cucked, now they're attacking the First Amendment like California with the Stop Nick Shirley Act. There's another thing I have to talk about. Hello, Ted Fatash. Right. Captain Rudy says, right to repair has been an issue in the automotive world for years, especially with European vehicles. Work on my own vehicles and my brother's 2009 Volkswagen to fix it up. I spent $3,000 just in stuff to fix it. $500 of that was just tools, and those were cheap, good enough tools. Let's see, Rippling Star says, I'll explain myself. They want to be the only legal form of defense so that they can select who gets protection. So the lawful native citizens suffer, but the useful groups are safe. Yeah, that's another thing. The police actually don't have a legal obligation to defend you. There's multiple cases where the police... good night, Kianala. You have a good night. But there's multiple examples of where the police... just straight up refuse to show up at a place, and then the individual, you know, obviously died. But you know, I digress, right? what are you gonna do, right? It's like fucking hell, mate. But yeah, it's like some of those are horrifying, but. Let's see if this actually gets me the thing I'm looking for. But yes, yeah, I do think that you're right. The ability to pick winners and losers in the game of chance, as well as pick, for example, which makers get to create, which makers get to not create. I think it's a totalitarian effort, not a single issue effort, because I do think the right to repair and the Second Amendment fall under this particular concern.
Between this and ice in airports, are we gonna see blue states go broke?
I don't know about going broke, because I'm sure some sort of like the companies that own factories probably aren't gonna care about this surveillance stuff, because they're like, oh yeah, we could just use it to make sure employees are actually doing work, and we can fire the ones that are being lazy, I guess.
No, there's going to be issues with this even there, but the problem is, first of all, you have a literal back door that's exploitable in the machine, right? Second of all, outside of the fact that you have a literal inbuilt exploitable back door, you also have the issue that, again, this goes to the monopoly thing, right? Now there's an extra barrier to entry when it comes to actually setting up a job, let's say, or like if you want to use your 3D printer for work, or if you want to use a CNC machine for, commission work. These are things that actually happen, and they just got priced out of the market.
So it's completely monitoring everything you do with the system. Wait, so then do all companies have to get new updated machines that have the surveillance in it? It'll be cheaper to just move out of New York?
Yep.
Probably. And we already have seen...
And I am fine with it. I am actually fine with New York collapsing under the weight of its own hubris. Again, like, I genuinely do not actually care about New York. I genuinely don't. But, you know, we all have to deal with the consequences of, the actions thereof.
Quite a lot of people fleeing from New York since Mamdani got elected. I wish he got arrested.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I've seen people fleeing New York since he got elected. So this would not surprise me. My whole thing with New York right now is, like, do not let your states become like New York, like Virginia, like California. Do not elect communists. Do everything you can to prevent the Democrats from getting into seats of power at this point, as the party has been completely overtaken by communist ideologues. It's again why I've been saying, like, any people telling you to, like, vote Democrat in order to teach the Republicans a lesson either knows where we are and wants to see you suffer, or is so incredibly ignorant about the political landscape right now that they should not be listened to by any means. It's okay, you know how to build printers, computers.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that, again, anyone who says that is almost certainly a snake. And, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
And firearms from scratch. These commies can howl at the moon as much as they want. They can't stop you from being free. They're going to try their best, that's for goddamn sure. Damn.
A digital design file, CNC mills, CNC routers, lathes, 3D printers, anything subtractive, anything additive. If it takes a file and it makes a physical object, New York just put it under government surveillance. The law requires every one of these machines to be equipped with what the bill calls blocking technology. That's firmware or software that evaluates every single file against a firearms blueprint detection algorithm, and if the algorithm says no, the machine doesn't run. There are no exemptions for researchers. No exemptions.
If I buy a machine and the machine tells me, Kirsha, I can't let you do that, I'm gonna be very upset. Because I've spent money on this machine to do things, and if the machine tells me it cannot do thing, then why did I spend the money on it? Like, that's...
Again, Again, the jailbreaker is absolutely the hero in this situation. If someone starts jailbreaking these machines, and I would suggest, again, if it's possible, remote jailbreaking from, like, foreign countries, right? I'm just saying, Russia already has some pretty fucking lax laws when it comes to spyware. Maybe they can get in on the market of jailbreaking American machines from over there, because there's not shit America's going to be able to do against them. Yeah, they're absolutely heroes of this particular issue. Captain Rudy says law enforcement's responsibility to the public at large, not any one specific person or entity. It's not really true either. But anyway, Captain Rudy says, I like it when there's a backdoor I can exploit. And, fair. I gotta get a bonk sound effect to use against chat. Anyway, so many people are leaving New York City, and Mandami is trying to propose tax to tax people who leave to try to make them stay. Yeah, it's the exit tax. And again, to be fair, in a sane society, in a sane society, we wouldn't even have to get here because, let's just say things wouldn't actually be allowed to get there. That was a HAL 9000 reference. Yes, I am aware. I am aware. I have 2001: Space Odyssey.
It's kind of absurd. How is this not invasive surveillance? I mean, it is, but that's kind of part of the game here, unfortunately.
You'd have to get that litigated all the way to the Supreme Court, and then all that's going to happen is they're going to change a little bit of the wording of the text, and then they're going to point out, well, you didn't actually, like, strike this down, and they're going to have to repeat the entire process over and over and over again. This is why we need a law of some kind that has a severe punishment to any kind of executive, not executive, but legislative, and executive, actually, authority that does this kind of shit, right? A 3 strikes you're out policy. You did it once, that's one. You did it second time, that's it. Third time, you're out. Preferably life in prison. So, by the way, I found the thing. So this took me a little while to find because Congress's fucking internal search engine is an absolute bitch. But this is HJ Resolution 25, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States to end the practice of including more than one subject in a single law by requiring that each law enacted by Congress be limited to only one subject and that that subject be clearly and descriptively expressed in the title of the law. This was proposed by Representative Marino Tom, Tom Marino, which was a Republican from Pennsylvania. And that would be this gentleman right here, 12th District, 116th, 2019, so there you go. There's the details of that. But this was, the committees were the House Judiciary. Last action was in the House in the 12th of January 2017, referred to the subcommittee on the Constitution and Civil Justice. This did not pass, obviously, right? But let's read this, because I think this will answer the fucking question. It's like, why don't we have this? This is why. Because they didn't want this, right? Okay, let's actually read this text. All right, so shown here, introduced in House, okay, we already read this part, 115th Congress, first section, HJRES 25, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States to end the practice of including more than one subject in a single law by requiring each law enacted by Congress be limited to only one subject and the subject be clearly and descriptively expressed in the title of the law. By the way, this is an example of self-justifying, right? This is a proof by demonstration that this can be done. Anyway, in the House of Representatives, January 9th, 2017, Mr. Marino submitted the following joint resolution, which was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. Joint resolution, proposing an amendment of the Constitution of the United States to end the practice of including more than one subject in a single law by requiring that each law enacted by Congress be limited to only one subject and that the subject be clearly and descriptively expressed in the title of the law. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, 2/3 of each house concurring therein, that the following article is proposed as an amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the Constitution when ratified by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years after the date of this submission for ratification. Obviously, was never actually ratified. So, article. And this is the act. This was what the Constitution would have actually had if this had passed. And you have to remember, when did this happen? This happened in the 115th Congress. That was between 2017 and 2018. They were suggesting this shit in 2017. Each bill, order, resolution, or vote which must be submitted to the President under Section 7 of Article 1 of this Constitution shall embrace no more than one subject, and that shall be clearly and descriptively expressed in the title of the bill, order, resolution, or vote. There was a solution to answering pork and hidden trap legislation. And it turns out the government didn't want it. I wonder why. Oh, by the way, there's a second version of this that's actually older, and it happens to deal with the constitutional amendment process, suggesting that, again, proposed amendments to the Constitution of the United States be single subject as well. But I digress, right? So here we go. Just me nerding out about, like, proposed and failed, U.S. amendments. Captain Rudy says, finally off of work after 13.5 hours, 251 miles, and 69 stops. Oh my God. God bless Rudy. Rudy says, speaking of the thing in Oregon, Ember posted about how the DOJ needs to investigate the local PD, but she accidentally tagged the DOJ in the Philippines. That's funny. That's actually really funny.
For commercial manufacturers, the automotive industry, the aerospace industry, the medical device industry, all running CNC equipment, all now subject to machines that have to check in before they do their cutting.
Could you imagine, again, hold on, let's rewind to this. Could you imagine a medical facility getting raided by the feds, by the ATF of all people, right? For firearms violations, and it turns out that AI just mistook legitimate medical equipment for a firearm part. I mean, it's going to happen apparently, right?
Not even federally licensed gunsmiths are exempt.
That's insane.
Here's the part that they really didn't quite think through. The algorithm reads...
No, they did. This was meant to punish the people of New York.
It's shapes, geometry.
The CNC machine has been converted to a consent machine. That's true. We can no longer have fun with CNC.
It looks at a file and asks, does this look like a firearm component? A pipe looks like a barrel. A bracket looks like a receiver. A tube, a housing, a mechanical connector.
This is what makes me think this was done on purpose. Let's be fair. These people that we're dealing with, they don't want the system to be reformed. They want the system to be destroyed at the root. This was done on purpose.
Every one of these shares, geometry was something on a prohibited list. One manufacturer ran their open firmware through the proposed algorithm before this passed. It flagged 17% of completely legitimate prints.
Yep.
No surprise. Engine parts, brackets, jigs, tools, all flagged. The machine then logs, the job doesn't run, and you don't get an explanation. Just a machine that won't move and maybe even reported to the state.
That's horrifying. That, like, you might be trying to print something completely normal, not even, I feel like a firearm would be normal, but I digress. Something like not even
firearm should be normal.
related, and you get reported to the feds for it. How fucking wild is that?
This is literally, this is another step in the whole show me the man and I'll show you the crime idea, right?
No longer make phallic objects. I am a humble, horse-cock-sized dildo maker.
God damn it.
I only make the strongest of metallic horse dongs, and I got reported for making firearm components.
There's also a
Captain Rudy says, not sure if you heard, but the AI that monitors the cameras in the UK mistook a Dorito on a Dorito bag as a firearm and notified the police. I could see that. I could see that. So, like, again, first of all, boomers don't have a concept of OPSEC, and they also, for the most part, don't really understand how any of these technologies work, and yet they're the ones writing the laws for a lot of this stuff, right? Second of all, a lot of the people, again, from any other generation don't understand how some of these technologies work. Show me then, I'll show you these nuts. Fucking hell, mate, I should have read that beforehand.
A firmware problem. The majority of desktop machines like this, CNC and 3D printers, they run open source firmware. Things like Marlin and Clipper, built and maintained by volunteers, not connected to a state database. A lot of this is even private software, not built for compliance infrastructure. It's not capable of this without being completely rebuilt. New York just mandated something that doesn't exist and can't be built in the way that they described.
That is kind of weird.
Again, I don't think that this is an accident. I think that this is, again, on purpose. I think this is a malicious act. But, you know, I digress kind of deal, right? There's only so many times you can tell someone, it's like, how many times does it take for you to get punched in the face before you realize the people punching you in the face aren't doing it on accident, they're doing it on purpose. Right? Just, let's be fucking honest here.
Philip Tyrone put it simply, we don't require...
I think this is also something, and I've, at this point, completely lost faith in anything Matt Pat was trying to do with the Creators Caucus.
Oh no, I called that right from the fucking get-go, actually. I remember talking with Doctor of Insanity, actually, when Matt Pat first announced that he was going to do a Creator Caucus, and Doctor of Insanity was hopeful that maybe something could get done, and I was like, I told him, and I was like, I don't think anything's going to get done. I don't think he's going to do a damn thing, to be perfectly honest. I don't think he's going to be able to do a damn thing. And it turns out, once again, historically, I have been vindicated. But then I was kind of dooming on that whole Creator Caucus thing, and I did turn out to be right about that. But, yeah. Just, I do wish that they were able to get something done. It's just, I don't understand what they thought they were going to get done, because like I could never get a straight answer as to like what the actual solid solutions to the problems they were talking about actually were when I would ask questions about it.
Because it doesn't seem like they're actually doing anything, and I never even got a response, so much for being bipartisan, I suppose. But this seems like something that, if the Creators Caucus was a real thing that wanted to do real good, this would be something they could take up. Because I would see any kind of like 3D printing or manufacturing in that degree as a part of e-commerce and a part of like online sales as well. Obviously, you can 3D print and sell things in person, but there's a large conglomerate of content creators that do 3D printed content. They make things themselves. They show people how to make things. They give whatever the fuck the files are called out to people to make their own things at home. So it's just some performative PR bullshit. It colored you shocked. You know, it just, I guess maybe Brendan Herrera has like tainted my view on content creators, tainted in a good way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because he actually tried, right? He actually like had a plan and it just didn't pan out.
Because like Brendan actually wanted to do things and wanted to do good things, whereas a lot of other creators typically only do things that serve their self-interests. And whenever I see like people, especially like fighting on things on Twitter, you know, it makes me think of that Asmongold clip about Ludwig, where it's like, when someone is doing the right thing, heavy quotes, you have to look at, are they doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, or are they doing the right thing because it is the correct choice financially or for their brand? Because there are some people who do not want to do whatever the right thing is, but they will do it anyways because it would be better for their brand if they did it. And it makes me think of like, what certain people choose to defend or complain about as far as other creators go. And it's just like, that's really interesting. That's really interesting, man.
I'm going to pause this here. Okay, so Captain Rudy said, remember, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell are so old that they're not even boomers. They're technically part of the silent generation. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right about that. But there's a thing Kirsha is currently forgetting. You're not in a place to give a damn about that. We are not in a place to care about whether or not someone who is going to do a thing is doing the thing because it's the right thing to do, or because it's going to somehow advantage them. I don't really care if doing the right thing advantages a person, advancing doing the right thing, right? I don't really care. We are in a position where we just need to get the people in who will do the right thing, whether or not they're doing it because they genuinely believe in it or because they're going to benefit from doing the right thing. Doesn't fucking matter, right? You're not in, like, again, the opposition to the left is not a single ideology, right? We are only even remotely challenging the left through big tentism, to be perfectly honest. If we start vying for this ideological purity idea, which is what we're talking about right here, right? It's like, are they doing it because they actually believe it, or are we doing it because, again, it's just beneficial to us? Doesn't fucking matter. Like, again, what these people want to do to us is genuinely bad enough to where it's like, hey, the enemy of my enemy may not be my friend, but that guy's trying to kill both of us. So we at least have a common enemy to work with against right now, right? Again, it's like rewind the clock, right? You start like with the Muslim expansion, right? Like you go back in time, right? You start talking to like the Catholic world, the Tengrist, and like the Mongols, and then you start talking to like the Zoroastrians, and you just tell them, it's like, hey man, I know you Zoroastrians and you Christians don't get along, but you're both gonna collapse if you don't fucking work together to deal with this problem, right? And then you have these people be like, well, we're going to mutually benefit from this decision, but I'm not going to side with this guy because I don't really like him. And guess what? They both fall. Because that's historically what happened. The Tengrist collapsed. The fucking, again, like, oh my God. Sometimes you have to be willing to work with people who do not have the same values as you to deal with a enemy that is, again, you're not going to be able to deal with on your own. It is just that simple, right? If the fucking Hindu, Zoroastrian, Tengrist, and Catholic, world actually had gotten together to oppose Islam, they would have won, right? It would have been basically a close to an envelopment as you could have gotten historically speaking, right? But because everyone decided to stand on principle, every single one of these societies collapsed one by one by one. The Catholics were basically purged for the most part from Anatolia, right? Tengrism collapsed all across the Mongolian world. 100 million dead in India is not exactly a small number. Almost no Zoroastrians exist anymore relative to what they used to, right? Look at what your ideological purity got you. Sometimes you just have to do the big tentism and deal with the fact that, like, again, someone's going to do what you want. Maybe not for the reason that you want, but you can still use this fucker. So, yeah. That's my somewhat pragmatic take on that, right?
You could see the Statue of Liberty and Twin Towers when you were stationed in New York. Shame. That is a shame. You own a 3D printer, and yes, sometimes artists do just that. Don't worry about it. It's just like this seems like a prime example. And one of the people that signed on to the Creators Caucus was in fucking New York. So again, you would think if the Creators Caucus was actually something and not just like a Matt Pat marketing scheme, that this would be something that they would want to take up, right?
Yeah, I lost all respect for Matt Pack a long time ago, to be perfectly honest. Fushizi says, man, I hate it when Leaf gets into these moods where she almost attacks people on disability because food or whatever reason. Don't mind me just taking a bunch of strays from her ranting. Oof. Fair enough. Kevin Rudy says, who do you think would win in a fight between Jesus and Muhammad? Well, I mean, if we're going based off the lore, right? If we're going based off the lore, it would very clearly be Jesus, right? It kind of depends. If the atheist is right, then it could go. If the atheist is right, then I couldn't answer the question because it depends on the context, right? If we take a religious perspective from it, it's very certainly going to be Jesus.
You know, I don't know. A lot of content creators would make great politicians, honestly, blood-sucking parasites who say sweet lies as easily as one breathes. And that's why it's just like, it sucks. It sucks that fucking Ohio guy was just like an egotistical, weird dude, and not someone like Brendan Herrera who actually wanted to do something.
Yeah, if you're talking about someone like these people, right, where they're saying the words, but they won't actually do the fucking thing, then yeah, sure. We need to filter those people out, right? Because they are just going to take time and resources away from people who are actually going to do the thing. If someone is going to do the thing that needs to be done, even if it's for the wrong reason, it still needs to get done.
3D printed guns are the excuse? The purpose is to crush small companies by making it impossible to comply with regulations?
Yes, again, this is exactly what I brought up earlier, because, again, and it's not just that. Remember, one of the reasons that they hate the 3D printer is because, again, it removes the Gramscian control over the arts. They need the arts. The arts are a concretization of a metaphysic, of a view of man in his life in the world, right? The reason the left is so powerful now in society is because they basically control all the levers of cultural production. The conservative makes no effort to control the levers of cultural production. They just gave all the levers of cultural production to the left. And 3D printing is one of those ways that you can take a little bit of that power back away from the collective left and give it to the individual. And so it's not exactly all that surprising that, again, they would go against things like 3D printing, just like they go against AI, because these are, again, ways to rein in power for cultural production from the collective. But anyway.
I mean, yeah, ever since COVID, basically, there's been this, like, huge push to try and destroy mom and pop shops.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it doesn't overtly look like we're gonna kill the mom and pop shops, but, like, everything they do, regulation-wise, is basically to achieve that goal.
Table saws to scan wood for weapon shapes. We don't require lathes to phone home before turning metal. But that's exactly what this law does to every machine, every file, and every job. Except, here's what New York didn't tell you. The technology, in fact, does exist. A Spanish company called Print and Go already built it. And I've done a video on it previously, and I'll have that linked in the description. Their software is called 3D Gunt. It checks...
Okay, that's funny. Oh my god.
I don't know if he would appreciate it, but, you know, at least something is named after Ethan Ralph now.
Every print job against a database of gun blueprints and uses AI to flag those shapes of common firearm components before the machine runs. Now, the Manhattan District Attorney has been citing...
Why is that word here? Because we live in clown world where we have the FUTA bill and the Gunt 3D gun surveillance. Suffer Gunt! Someone's gonna 3D print a purse and it's gonna get stolen.
Oh my god.
FlashForge and to other manufacturers, threatening them with legal exposure if they don't adopt it. That campaign started back in 2025 before this bill existed.
Interesting.
The DA was already threatening manufacturers with the software before the law mandated the software.
That's
now,
crazy.
The governor's budget provision, it didn't create a new requirement and then go looking for a solution. They built the enforcement mechanism first, then they wrote the law to match it.
M2 Sniffles, thank you. New from Sloppa Tactical. The Gunt! No need for a holster, just be a fat fuck and slap your toolie under your snatch flap and then get on with your day. True. New commercial.
Now, there's a second part of this bill that barely got covered. Subpart A, sections 2.10 and 2.11. It makes it a Class E felony to distribute or possess a digital design file that could...
This, I'm sure he's not going to read it. It says, any dealer in firearms or gunsmith who, on or after May 31st, 2027, sells, transfers, disposes of, or transports or ships as merchandise a convertible pistol shall be guilty of a Class D felony. Now, it says May 31st, 2027. So I feel like that means most people won't even know that this has passed in a budget bill And we won't be seeing anyone push back against this other than this guy until, like, May of next year. Maybe April of next year if some people get on board sooner.
Yeah, but that's part of the design. Again, the design is no one will notice it. This is why we needed that single amendment bill that I cited earlier, right? If we had that single amendment, that single bill amendment, none of this would be possible. And that's exactly why we didn't get it, right? I'm telling you, if you go and you look up a lot of the failed proposals for amending the U.S. Constitution are really bad, but some of them really good. Some of them are like, damn, why don't we have this? And why don't we have this amendment in the U.S. Constitution? One that made it up to Congress and then was just never ratified. Oh, wait a minute, that should, it's because they benefit from having that power. Interesting.
But, I've been screaming about bridge for years now, and barely anyone has picked it up, so.
I mean, that's fair.
Firearm component, if you share it with anyone who isn't a federally licensed gunsmith, a journalist covering this story, a researcher studying it, an artist, anyone who sends a file without first verifying that the recipient holds a federal firearms license and a New York gunsmith registration, felony. And that's just what made it into the budget. Sitting in committee right now, not yet passed, but very much alive, is Assembly Bill A2228 and its Senate companion S3562. Same bill, both chambers. It would require a full firearms background check before you can purchase any of these tools. The kind of background check that you do when you buy a firearm, except for a 3D printer or a CNC machine or a lathe. This isn't a series of isolated proposals. This is a campaign.
Yeah,
the
it's coordinated attack.
Passes first. Get the machines online, get the files scanned. The in-person sales requirement, it comes next. Control the point of purchase. The background check bill is the last door. Once that closes, you need the government permission to own the tools at all. This is that same pattern that we've been seeing year after year. They pass it, then they bury it, then they enforce on people who build things, fix things, or make things. And I
really don't understand, like, the entire war on any kind of labor men. Like, it's just like, if this war on men who do actual labor continues, everywhere in the U.S. will end up like New England.
That's the
where
goal.
There is massive shortages of any kind of guys that keep everything running. Shortages of electricians, shortages of plumbers, shortages of construction workers, just shortages of, like, every guy that can actually keep society running.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's just like, I don't want to see that, because if we start getting shortages literally everywhere, that's going to fucking suck. Make the majority of people slaves to the state. It's fucking awful. I don't want more people reliant on the state, man.
Spreads. Because Washington passed theirs first. New York followed. California's version is already drafted. Once one state...
I didn't know that Washington already had a bill like this. That's kind of crazy. Washington state speed running the communisms that New York has slowly been going down the drain in.
Sets the template, the others copy it. And the manufacturers build it into every machine that they sell everywhere because...
So I'm going to pause this here. And again, as someone who doesn't want Texas to secede from the Union, if you want to understand why Texas secessionism is growing in Texas, this is the kind of bullshittery that causes Texas secessionism to grow in Texas, right? If this is the caliber of people that we have to deal with being part of the Union, maybe we don't need to be part of the Union, right? And I somewhat sympathize with the point. Right? Like, it's not like Texas couldn't stand on its own. We give more money to the federal government than we actually take, right? We are in a perpetual surplus. Yeah. Personally, I would rather prevent the civil war that would inevitably fall from, come from the, what would you call it? The secession of Texas from the Union. But I don't know. It does seem just like it's maybe more responsible.
It's cheaper than making two different product lines. Your machine anywhere, watching every file. They told you that this was about ghost guns. A ghost gun epidemic. That's what they called it. Classic safety-enriched fear-mongering. For that, every single CNC machine in the state gets a surveillance chip. Every file gets scanned.
It's not for that. They did that because they know that they can actually, like, again, get people to actually do, you know, they know that it's a good way to get people to like pull at people's emotions. They know that that's a way that they can get this passed is by saying this, but that's not what it's for.
Every online sale gets banned, every small shop, every garage, every fabrication business, in person only or not at all. This isn't a firearms law. It's a manufacturing law, and they buried it in the budget because they knew exactly what it was.
And I'm sure they're using guns as like the fear mongering of, oh, we're just doing this for the firearms, don't worry about it. It's not.
Hello, Hamo Deal.
It's not going to stop there. It never stops there. The slippery slope is not a fallacy, as we've seen time and time again. Spooky ghost guns. Are the spooky ghost guns just as good as the spooky ghost dick? Diddly diddler, thank you. It's amazing what happens when you implement mail-in ballots statewide in Washington. It's also tiresome. It's also tiresome. Wish there was more we could do about horrific state bills like this and the Road to Digital ID one that passed in South Carolina recently. Oh, it's similar.
Yeah, there is something. First of all, you could, again, vote and pay attention to what's being, like, again, ratified in your local community. But also, invest in all you can for any kind of decentralization tool, right? Anything that allows you to, again, produce without the hand of the master. Again, it's like if you can get started in home labbing. I know it's expensive, but you don't have to do it right now. But like when you get the opportunity and the prices for the, again, silicone chips drop, look into investing in home labbing for yourself, not for some extrinsic profit, right? Look into, again, using 3D printers, you know, because you can apparently make injection molds with 3D printers. Just saying, right? Look into, again, how to jailbreak your equipment, right? That's another good way to do that. Like, any means that you can take power back for yourself individually first, yeah. But also, again, oppose these fuckers when they're local, right? Because that's where it all starts. It's where you actually have to start the fight.
To like the SAVE Act, right? Like there are so many Republicans even that were just like, nope, can't do that. And it's like, why? Why can't you? Like, what are we supposed to do if we elect you to do what we want and then you just say, nope, can't do that? Like, it's infuriating that these people get voted into seats of power and then either do nothing or only do things harmful with it. And we have to sit here and just wait for an election cycle to hopefully outvote the retards who want to keep someone like that in their position. Have you ever wanted a pet, but the response...
All right, so there's that, right? So, yeah, I don't mean to doom, but yeah, again, it is worse than you think with some of this stuff, right? Like, there is no benevolent intention. The benevolent intention is a spook given to make it easier, the pill easier to swallow. But no, they will use your desire for safety and security as the very noose that they will hand you, you know, the rope that they will hand you to, you know, to hang yourself with. But, yeah, so that is my thoughts on the whole, again, 3D printing restriction that has, and, you know, CNC router restrictions that passed in New York. It is going to have devastating consequences in New York. It's probably going to have consequences that ripple out in the rest of the United States, even if it's not like, oh yeah, the rest of the United States is doing this. No, just the fact that it's economically affecting New York is going to have downstream consequences for the rest of the goddamn country. And I am fucking tired of New York, to be perfectly honest. I cannot stand New York in particular. But you know, it's not like, if you're from New York, that's fine. You as a person I don't have an issue with. I have an issue with New York as a state and culture. So there's that. Let's see. So that's gonna be the end of this video. Y'all have a lovely day, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, so the recording for that video is over. I am not going to have enough time to do another video. So, let's see if there's someone we can raid, right? Once again, we shall find someone to raid. Let's see if I can find anyone. Okay, they've been on for 5 hours. I don't know how long they're going to stay on. Let's see. Just give me a moment. I'll put the link in the chat. That way, if you're not on Twitch, you can follow the link or find them on your respective platforms. Oh my God, she's watching Legal Eagle. Why would you do this to yourself? Okay, they've been on for 4 hours and 30 minutes. She's been on for 46 minutes. Let's see. Okay, he's been on for 3 hours. Been on for 1 hour, 33 minutes. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I just added Pro AI to my list of tags on the bottom, right? Because I just noticed that there are people with anti-AI in the... You know what? Hold on. Should we... hold on. I have a plan. Maybe I should actually make a video explaining this plan, because maybe we can get some of the anti-AI people onto the AI side if we just love bomb them, right? If we meet bitterness with kindness, right? If we meet like bitterness with sweet, maybe we can love bomb people who are anti-AI to the pro AI side, right? Sorry, it was like it may be a dumb strategy, but that might work. Okay, let's see. To be fair, some of the anti-AI people do have compassion. They just are legitimately... Some of these people are just legitimately, like, audience captured, right? And, yeah, that's their fault for not having a spine. But I was just saying that because I was like, hold on. One of the people I watch says anti-AI, and it would be, like, the funniest thing ever to just, like, set up a plan to love bomb that particular person, right? It's like, hold on. We gotta psyop this person into actually liking AI, right? Oh my God. Let's see. I just don't know how long these people tend to like actually stream. I know Leaflet streams a lot, so that's one of the options. But I don't know when, for example, like Kitsuragi hops off, because he's been streaming for like 3 hours. Let's see. I know Koki is like anti-AI and it's like the Operation Love Bomb the Frog, right? But maybe not today. Let's see. Yappening is strong with this one. 4 hours and 41 minutes for Lifu Lifu. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Kitsu will probably pop off soon. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's like any of the smaller people in the community. But then again, I need to figure out like everyone's like, because I don't have everyone in my list. Lynx has been on since for like 5 hours and 53 minutes. Let's see. All right, we're gonna raid Leaflet. Fair enough, right? Just for right now, we're gonna raid Leaflet, and I'm gonna talk with a couple people about the. I mean, if you want to ask, you can ask. I can wait for you to get the answer. Just let me know if you're gonna ask. That way, I don't set up something. I'll do that. I guess while we are waiting for that, I put it on some background music, I guess, right? I probably should have put it on some background music a moment ago. Damn. There's just like things that you don't think of until in the moment, right? That's not what I meant to press. Hold on, chat. I'm a little retarded. Okay. Let's go here. Well, considering it's Pride Month, I guess we could listen to a song about the gayest prophet. Or somewhat very about it. So I'm just gonna wait till Kura gets the answer.
The black stone I rise. Hubal wearing Yahweh's eye.
Okay, so not Kitsu then.
I wear the name.
Well, I guess in that case we're gonna raid Leaflet. Because I know Leaflet's gonna be on for like God knows how long.
I am Khairul Makirina, best of plotters, master of lies. Wa makaru, wa makara, Allahu, Allahu Khairu al Makirina. I twist the Torah, I mock the angel.
That didn't go to. I'll listen to it right after we do the raid. Why did that not show up? That didn't show up on YouTube for some reason. There we go. Alright. Gonna start the raid. I mean, it helps, right?
I'll possess you forever.
These are the exalted cranes, their intercession is hoped for.
Then I blame the devil, convenient my prophet restored.
Aswa Hassana.
9 years old in Bukhari's chain, I shed tears, yet my verses rushed.
Hello, Amity Anuka. You joined right as we were about to raid someone, right?
Wise being with the dribble on the right hands possess their flesh. Shadow al-Bari, worst of creatures burn. Jizya and Yadin waham saghirun, pay or be humbled, learn. Man badala dinahu fahtuluhu, apostates bleed on command. I wear the name.
Alright, so I just sent the Twitch to raid Leaflet. And I guess I'll stop stream now. Y'all have a lovely day.